Stop. Don't scroll, don't blink. Right now, there's a habit inside you, the one you keep ignoring, the one that's quietly destroying your focus, your confidence, your dreams, and your future. Every day you repeat it, you lose a piece of the person you were meant to become. Today, right now, we're going to expose it and break it before it destroys you. Let me tell you the raw truth. Your life isn't stuck because you're unlucky. It's stuck because of the habits you repeat every day, the ones you promised to quit but never did. Bad habits are silent killers. A little delay, one more excuse, just this once, and slowly they take over your life. Your focus dies, your confidence dies, your dreams die. But today, this moment can change everything, because I'm about to give you 5 shocking ways to break your bad habits before they destroy your future, your purpose, and your life. No fake motivation, no empty words, just the truth, just power, just action. Let's begin. Listen to me right now, because what I'm about to say is going to hit you hard. The very first step to breaking any bad habit, the very first step to taking control of your life, is to face your habit with brutal honesty. Most people make the mistake of pretending their habits don't exist. They tell themselves, it's okay, I'll stop tomorrow. It's not that serious. I can control it later. And while they are saying these words, that habit is quietly taking over their life. That habit is stealing their focus, stealing their time, stealing their confidence, and slowly, silently destroying their future. Habits are sneaky. They don't knock on your door and say, I am here to ruin your life. No, they whisper. They hide in your routines. They hide in the small choices you make every day. One more hour on your phone, one more excuse to avoid work, one more bite you don't need, one more drink you don't need, one more procrastinated task. And just like that, your habit grows stronger. Every single day you ignore it. Every single day you lie to yourself, it wins. And the scary part is you don't even notice it happening. Here's the truth. You cannot break a habit that you refuse to admit exists. You cannot fight a battle that you pretend is not real. The moment you say, it's not a big deal, or I'll just do it one more time, you are giving your habit power. You are handing over control of your life to something that doesn't care about your dreams, your goals, your happiness. And the moment you admit it, the moment you stop hiding, is the moment you take your first step toward freedom. Now I want you to picture the habit that is holding you back the most. Picture yourself doing it right now. Maybe it's procrastination. Maybe it's scrolling through social media for hours when you have work to do. Maybe it's eating too much. Maybe it's smoking. Maybe it's spending money you don't have. Whatever it is, you know it's a problem. You've known it for months. You've known it for years, and yet you keep telling yourself it's okay. That comfort, that lie, is slowly destroying you. You have to stop being comfortable with lies. You have to stop hiding from the truth. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, this habit has been running my life. It's not part of me. It's not who I am supposed to be. And I will face it. I will confront it. I will not let it control me anymore. That is power. That is your first weapon, honesty. Facing your habit with raw honesty, not half-truths, not excuses, not promises you will never keep. Real, raw, unapologetic honesty. I know it's not easy. I know it hurts. When you finally admit the habit you've been hiding from, you might feel shame. You might feel anger. You might feel frustration at yourself for letting it control you for so long. Good. That pain is exactly what you need. That pain is your wake-up call. Pain is not weakness. Pain is energy. Pain is clarity. Pain is the first sign that something in your life needs to change. And it starts with honesty. Here's the thing. No one else can force you to face your habit. No one else will look you in the eyes and tell you the truth. Some people might try. Some won't. Some are too busy with their own life. The only person who can truly face your habit is you. You have to sit down, look yourself in the eyes, and admit the truth. Admit the ugly, admit the uncomfortable, admit the part you've been hiding from for years. That is where change begins. That is where the chain starts to break. Imagine what would happen if you never faced that habit. Imagine if you kept hiding behind excuses. Fast forward 5 years. Where would you be? The same place you are today? Maybe worse. That habit would have grown. That habit would have consumed more of your energy, more of your confidence, more of your time. Most people live their life like this. They slowly give away their power, their focus, their potential, without even realizing that the first weapon to fight back was always in front of them: honesty. But when you finally admit it, when you finally name it, when you finally stop running from it, something incredible happens. You reclaim your power. You take the first step toward freedom. You tell your mind, your body, and your soul that you are no longer a victim of this habit. You are no longer someone who waits for change to happen. You are the change. And here's the key. Once you do this, everything else becomes easier. The discipline, the focus, the building of new habits, all of it becomes possible because the first wall has been broken, and that wall is honesty. I want you to feel it right now. Feel that discomfort. Feel the weight of the truth, that habit you've been hiding from, lying to yourself about, pretending doesn't exist. It's real, and it's time to face it. Honesty is your weapon. You cannot conquer what you refuse to see. You cannot grow in the areas you refuse to admit need work. Awareness is power. Awareness is the spark that lights the fire that burns away excuses, weakness, and lies. This is not just about admitting that the habit exists. It's about understanding the damage it has done, how it has stolen your time, how it has drained your energy, how it has buried your potential. And when you see all of that clearly, when you feel the weight of it, it becomes impossible to ignore. That is why honesty is your weapon. That is why facing your habit is not optional. That is step one. Step zero, step everything in breaking free and becoming the person you were meant to be. Listen to me very closely, because this is one of the biggest truths you will ever face when it comes to breaking a habit and taking control of your life. You see, most people think that change comes from sheer willpower. They think that if they just try harder, push themselves more, or fight through the discomfort, they will succeed. And they fail time and time again. The reason is simple. Your environment has more control over you than your willpower ever will. Your surroundings shape your energy, your focus, your actions, and ultimately your life. Until you control your environment, your habits will continue to control you. Think about it for a moment. Every habit you have didn't just appear randomly. It was formed, reinforced, and strengthened by your environment. The people you spend time with, the places you go, the things you see, the content you consume every single day. All of these things train your brain and make your habits automatic. And if your environment is aligned against your goals, no amount of motivation, no amount of trying harder will make a lasting difference. That's why most people struggle. They are swimming against a current they don't even see. Look around your life right now. Your environment is sending you a message every single day. Your phone, your apps, your social media, the people you spend your time with, the media you consume, they are all either helping you grow or feeding your weaknesses. And the harsh reality is, most of the time, they are feeding your weaknesses while you pretend it's harmless. Every notification, every distraction, every temptation in your surroundings is reinforcing the behavior you are trying to break. And the longer you stay in that environment, the more entrenched the habit becomes. Here's the truth that will hit you like a punch. Your environment is not just physical. It is mental. It is emotional. It is digital. The books you read, the conversations you have, the music you listen to, the videos you watch, the people you spend time with. All of these are part of your environment, and all of them have power over your habits. If you want to break a habit, you must take full control over every aspect of your environment. You must deliberately surround yourself with things that support the person you want to become, not the person you are trying to leave behind. Think about it for a second. If you are trying to quit scrolling social media for hours every day, but your phone is full of apps that constantly tempt you, how do you expect to succeed? If you want to eat healthier, but your kitchen is full of junk food, how do you expect to succeed? If you want to wake up early and be productive, but your bedroom is chaotic and distracting, how do you expect to succeed? The environment you live in either supports your goals or sabotages them, and most people live in enemy territory without even realizing it. Changing your environment doesn't mean you have to completely overhaul your life. It doesn't mean leaving all your friends, quitting your job, or moving to a new city. It means being intentional. Remove the things that feed your bad habits and bring in things that support the new habits you want to form. If you want to exercise, put your gym clothes where you will see them first thing in the morning. If you want to eat clean, stock your kitchen with healthy food and remove the junk. If you want to read more, put books where you can easily reach them and remove distractions that pull your attention away. Small, deliberate changes in your environment lead to massive changes in your behavior over time. Most people fail because they rely on motivation alone. They think, I'll just push through. I'll just try harder. But motivation is temporary. The environment is permanent. Habits are built on cues, triggers, and reinforcements. And your environment is the ultimate trainer. Change the environment and suddenly the habit you were fighting loses its power. The temptation that once seemed irresistible is now manageable. The behavior that used to control you now becomes optional. And here's the truth that most people don't realize. Your environment also shapes your identity. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you occupy, the media you consume, and the things you focus on every day are sending constant messages to your brain about who you are. If you want to be disciplined, productive, and focused, you need an environment that reinforces that identity. If you want to quit a bad habit, your environment must reinforce the identity of someone who doesn't do that habit. Your environment trains your brain more than your willpower ever will. When you finally take control of your environment, you are no longer fighting blind. You are no longer leaving your success up to chance or relying on fleeting motivation. You are creating a space that makes the habit you want to break almost impossible to continue. That is power. That is strategy. That is the difference between someone who keeps failing and someone who finally succeeds. And the best part is, this works every single time if you are consistent. Change your surroundings, remove the triggers, bring in new cues, create a space that supports the person you want to be. And your habits will start following naturally. You will no longer have to fight as hard because the environment is now doing part of the work for you. Listen to me closely, because most people miss this part entirely when they try to break a bad habit. They think breaking a habit is about saying no. They think it's about resisting, fighting, and relying solely on willpower. And that is why they fail. Habits are not just behaviors. They are patterns. They are ingrained in your brain. They are automatic. They are relentless. If you try to stop a habit without giving your brain something else to focus on, your mind will scream at you. It will fight. It will drag you back, often stronger than before. This is why most people quit halfway, feel frustrated, and then return to the very habits they promised themselves they would leave behind. Here's the truth you need to understand. To break a habit, you cannot just stop. You must replace it. Replacement is not optional. Replacement is strategy. Replacement is power. Habits crave repetition and reward. They need something familiar. When you remove a habit without giving your brain a new habit to replace it, a vacuum is created. And the human brain cannot tolerate a vacuum. It will fill it, most likely with the old habit. But when you replace a bad habit with a positive action, your brain is given a new path, a new direction, and a new reward system. That is how real transformation happens. Think about it. If you are trying to quit endlessly scrolling social media, don't just leave your phone and stare at nothing. That's torture for your mind. Instead, replace that time with reading a book, journaling, exercising, learning a skill, or connecting with someone face to face. Give your brain a reward that feels meaningful. The moment your brain starts receiving consistent reward from the new habit, it begins to forget the old one. The old habit loses its grip because your attention, your energy, and your focus are invested in something productive. Replacement is deliberate. Replacement is intentional. Replacement is what separates those who succeed from those who fail over and over again. Replacement doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be small, intentional, and consistent. The key is to make it automatic. Make it something that happens naturally whenever the old habit triggers. If you bite your nails when stressed, don't just tell yourself stop biting. Replace it with squeezing, a stress ball, doing deep breathing, or tapping your fingers in a different rhythm. If you overeat when anxious, replace it with drinking water, chewing gum, or going for a short walk. The goal is to redirect the energy, the urge, and the impulse into something that moves you forward instead of holding you back. Here's another truth most people don't get. Your replacement habit must give your brain a reward. Your brain is constantly seeking dopamine, that feel-good chemical that says, do this again. If you stop a habit without giving your brain a replacement reward, your brain will fight you. It will pull you back to the old behavior. But if you replace it with an action that produces a positive reward, a sense of control, accomplishment, energy, or growth, your brain rewires itself. Every time you choose the new habit over the old, your brain learns that the new behavior is more valuable. That is how long-term transformation happens. Replacement is also about identity. Every habit is connected to the person you think you are. Smoking, procrastinating, overeating, or staying in toxic patterns are not just actions. They are stories your brain tells about who you are. This is me. But when you replace the habit with something positive, you are sending your brain a new message. This is who I am now. I am disciplined. I am in control. I am committed to growth. Every positive action reinforces the new identity, and slowly the old habit loses relevance because it no longer aligns with the person you are becoming. Replacement requires consistency. It doesn't work once or sporadically. You have to practice it daily. You have to feel the urge, recognize it, and consciously redirect yourself to the replacement behavior. Every single time you do this, your brain strengthens the new habit. Your self-control grows. Your confidence grows. Your life starts moving forward because old habits are no longer controlling you. Now imagine this. Every bad habit in your life is replaced by a positive habit that fuels your growth, energy, focus, and discipline. The habits that once held you back lose their power. The old behaviors that once dominated your life now become optional, weak, irrelevant. That is the power of replacement. That is how ordinary people break free and become unstoppable. That is how transformation begins. Replacement is not a temporary fix. It is a lifelong strategy. The habits you replace today form the foundation for the person you will become tomorrow. Every choice, every action, every replacement you make compounds over time into massive results. This is how champions think. This is how successful people operate. This is how your life can finally be led by your intentional actions rather than old destructive habits. Listen up, because this is where most people fail when they try to change. They think breaking a habit is about willpower. They think it's about motivation and trying harder than yesterday. But let me tell you something, that is not enough. Habits are not just about you. They are about your environment, your surroundings, the people you spend time with, the energy in the rooms you enter, the content you consume every day. These are shaping your actions, whether you like it or not. If you want to break a bad habit, you have to look at what's around you, because your environment can either lift you up or drag you down. Think about it. If you are trying to quit smoking, but every day you are around people who smoke, or you keep visiting places where smoking is normal, how do you expect to succeed? Your brain is wired to observe patterns. It wants to fit in. It wants to conform. It wants to follow the energy around it. If your surroundings are constantly reinforcing the habit you're trying to break, your willpower is going to fail. Your mind will pull you back. Your old habits will scream at you. This is why so many people fail, even when they are motivated. Motivation alone cannot overcome a toxic environment. And the environment is not just physical. It's mental, it's emotional, it's digital. The content you watch, the messages you listen to, the social media you scroll through, the conversations you have, all of this shapes your brain and your habits. If you are constantly consuming negativity, distraction, or drama, your habits will reflect that chaos. But if your environment is full of positivity, knowledge, and inspiration, your brain starts adopting new behaviors naturally. Every habit is influenced by the energy you allow into your life. And if that energy is aligned with growth, change becomes inevitable. Here's where most people go wrong. They think they can just will themselves to change without altering their environment. That is like trying to swim upstream in a storm. You will tire out. You will feel frustrated. You will fall back. To change your habits, you must be intentional about your environment. You must remove triggers. You must remove negative influences. You must surround yourself with people and energy that push you toward the person you want to become. That doesn't mean you will never face temptation. It means your environment will work for you, not against you. Let's get specific. If you want to stop overeating, don't keep junk food in your kitchen. Don't spend hours with people who eat without thinking. Instead, stock healthy food, prepare meals intentionally, and eat with people who encourage your growth. If you want to stop procrastinating, don't sit in a cluttered space with constant distractions. Remove them. Declutter your environment. Turn off notifications. Spend time with focused and productive people. The energy around you will either drag you down or lift you up. It's your choice. Here's the hard truth. We become like the 5 people we spend the most time with. If they are negative, unmotivated, and toxic, your habits, your thoughts, and your energy will mirror theirs. But if they are positive, disciplined, and driven, your habits will naturally start to align with their energy. You cannot ignore this. You cannot try to break a habit while staying in the same environment that created it in the first place. Your surroundings will always influence your actions, whether you like it or not. You have to be intentional. You have to curate your environment with precision. Remove toxic influences. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and push you to be better. Fill your mind with content that motivates, educates, and elevates you. Create spaces, physical, mental, and emotional, that reinforce the habits you want. The old habits will try to pull you back, but when your environment is aligned with your goals, it becomes easier to succeed. Now imagine this. Every person you spend time with, every room you enter, every piece of content you consume, reinforcing the life you want to live. The habits that once dominated your life begin to fade because your environment now pulls you toward progress instead of holding you back. Your surroundings become a constant support system, a silent coach guiding your actions, and every moment compounds into the habits of the person you are becoming. That is the power of the environment. That is the power most people overlook. That is the hidden reason why some people can change and others stay stuck. And remember, this is not a temporary hack. This is a lifelong strategy. The environment you create today will shape your habits tomorrow. Every choice about the people you spend time with, the energy you absorb, and the spaces you occupy compounds into who you become. Control your environment, and you control your habits. Control your habits, and you control your life. Listen to me carefully, because this is the part where most people fail. They start strong. They say they want to change. They talk about breaking their habits, but very quickly, the fire in their heart fades. They expect results instantly. They want the habit gone after one try. They think that if they stumble once, all is lost. Let me tell you something right now. That is not how change works. Breaking a bad habit is not about one big moment of willpower. It is not about a sudden surge of motivation. It is a journey, a process. And if you do not understand this, you will sabotage your own success before you even get started. Consistency is the foundation. You cannot rely on motivation because motivation comes and goes. It is a spark that fades. You cannot rely on willpower because willpower is like a battery. It drains and eventually runs out. What actually changes habits is repetition, persistence, and consistency. Showing up day after day, even when it hurts, doing the action, even when it feels uncomfortable, repeating new behavior over and over again until it becomes part of who you are. That is how transformation happens. Not in a day, not in a week, not in a month, but over time, through repeated effort, the change becomes permanent. Think about this. Your brain is wired to take the easy way out. Your old habit gives you instant gratification. It gives you comfort, pleasure, or relief immediately. Your new habit may not give that reward right away. That is why it is so difficult to stick to it. That is why most people quit. They are chasing instant results instead of investing in long-term transformation. But here's the truth. Every time you choose a new habit, every time you resist the old one, you are strengthening a new neural pathway in your brain. You are rewiring yourself. And that takes repetition. That takes consistency. That takes time. Patience is the other side of the coin. Most people fail because they are impatient. They wanted results yesterday. They want to feel better now. They want the struggle to end immediately. But lasting change is not a sprint. It is a marathon. You are not just changing a behavior, you are reshaping your identity. You are building a new version of yourself. And that cannot happen overnight. You have to trust the process. Even when you cannot see the results yet, you have to embrace the discomfort, the struggle, and the slow progress, because that is how habits are transformed from destructive patterns into powerful behaviors that define who you are. Consistency and patience go hand in hand. Consistency is about doing the work. Patience is about trusting the process. Without patience, consistency leads to frustration. Without consistency, patience leads to stagnation. But when you combine them, they become unstoppable. They are the forces that separate those who break free from destructive habits from those who remain trapped forever. Every champion, every successful person, every individual who has transformed their life understands this. They didn't succeed overnight. They didn't quit after a failure. They showed up every single day. They stayed patient. They repeated the actions that mattered, even when it was hard. They trusted the journey. That is the difference between someone who complains and someone who conquers. Let me tell you another truth. Small daily actions matter. Every choice to resist the old habit, every action to practice the new behavior, no matter how insignificant it seems, compounds over time. These small actions are the building blocks of transformation. Every day you commit to showing up, you are shaping the person you will become. Every repetition is an investment in your future self. You may not see the result immediately, but the work you are doing now is invisible power, invisible growth that will manifest over time. Imagine this. Every day you choose the new habit over the old one. Every day you show up, even when motivation is gone. Every day you embrace patience and trust the process. Over time, the change becomes effortless. What was once a struggle becomes normal. Your brain rewires. Your identity shifts. Your actions align with the person you want to be. The habits that used to control you lose their power. You are no longer a victim of your old patterns. You become the master of your behavior. You become unstoppable. Consistency and patience are your secret weapons. They will carry you through the days when motivation fades. They will sustain you when the old habit fights back. They will guarantee that the small steps you take every day compound into life-changing results. And if you truly embrace this, if you commit to showing up every single day, there is no habit, no obstacle, no temptation that can stop you. You become relentless because you are playing the long game. You are building a lifetime of progress, not chasing instant gratification. You are creating unstoppable momentum that will carry you past every challenge and every setback, shaping the life you were always meant to live. Listen to me right now and don't look away, because this is the moment that will decide the rest of your life. All the lessons you've heard, all the keynotes we've gone through, all the strategies, none of it matters if you don't take action today. Every second you hesitate, every second you wait, your bad habits are winning. They are stealing your time, stealing your energy, stealing your potential. And I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. I'm here to shake you awake. I'm here to light a fire inside you that will not stop burning until you take control of your life. You have the power. You have the choice. You can stay stuck, trapped in the same patterns that have held you back for years, or you can stand up, take responsibility, and fight for the life you were meant to live. Nobody else can do this for you. Nobody else can step in and break those habits for you. Only you have the courage. Only you have the strength. Only you have the commitment to change your destiny. Right now, at this moment, you can decide to choose action over excuses, discipline over comfort, progress over stagnation. Understand this. Your habits shape your future. Every choice you make, every small action you take, every time you resist the old habits and do the hard thing, you are winning, you are growing, you are building momentum that cannot be stopped. But it all starts with one choice: to own your life, to commit to yourself, to refuse to be controlled by the habits that have held you down. And don't fool yourself. Change is hard. Transformation is uncomfortable. Breaking a habit is painful. It will test your patience, your willpower, your courage. But pain is not your enemy. It is your signal that you are alive, that you are moving forward, that you are evolving into someone stronger, better, unstoppable. Embrace the struggle, because the discomfort is temporary, but the freedom you gain, the life you create, the person you become, that lasts forever. I am telling you, this is not a message for tomorrow. This is not for next week. It is for right now. Right now, decide to be consistent. Right now, decide to be patient. Right now, decide to take one step every day toward the life you deserve. Right now, refuse to let your old habits define you. Right now, commit to becoming unstoppable. Your life is waiting. Your potential is waiting. Your greatness is waiting. The only thing standing between you and your future is the decision you make this very second. Stand up. Step forward. Take control. Break your bad habits before they break you. Own your life. Rewrite your story. Become the unstoppable force you were born to be.